When we tell a story in this fashion, Mike Mignola, Drawing Monsters. This is a documentary about one of the preeminent comic book illustrators slash creators slash writers of our lifetime. This is the guy behind Hellboy. He didn't start off doing Hellboy. He started off doing what we like to call mainstream comics. The wild thing is, I was on the live stream not long ago, and I asked the entire panel. We had like 6 people on. Who's seen this? Because I wanted to discuss a controversial position that I feel needs to be discussed. So we will touch on that. But this is masterful. This is a well-made, must-watch documentary because it tells the story of Mike Mignola. And we like that story. It's a well-told story. It humanizes him. So let's go.
Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take 1.
Action!
And welcome back, friends and family, to the greatest movie podcast of all time, AKAPAD, the film buff. We're out there. Where are you at? Where are you at, my AKAPADers? Leave a comment. You guys are doing some work. Been going through the analytics. Canada. Why is Canada spiking all of a sudden? Well, hey, get yourself some maple. Side note, I guess this is reminding me. I need to make Canadian steak, which is it's a slice of beef, red meat, that is you put it in a ceramic pot and you throw it into the oven, and you basically cook the thing in maple syrup, and then you take it out, you sear it, and then you slice it, and you serve it. I need to try. So my Canadianers, get ready for that, guys. Maybe I'll post. I should. I will. If I do that, I'll post it on Twitter. Maybe I'll post it on Instagram. You know what? I'll take that back. I'll put it on Instagram. Maybe I'll put it up on X. That's right. We call Twitter X now, by the way, guys. But welcome back. Oh, I get so excited. I thought I knew about this guy's life. And you guys know I come from the world of comic books. I can cite his work. I knew every single turn this documentary was about to make. And then they get into how he met his wife. How he lived during a lot of those years where his career was uncertain. And they frame it to where Mike Mignola had a drawing style. He had a work ethic. Not quite there. He wasn't one of the illuminaries. In my view, I still don't view him as that. I view him as very narrow. He just has and this documentary paints a picture. This is not the guy that can draw anything, that can do a likeness, that can draw a car, that can draw Flash speeding through the force speed or the speed force, right? But he can draw certain things, and he can draw it and he can nail it. They even identify him leaning into Kirby for a 4-issue series called Cosmic Odyssey. So to me, this is all great, fantastic stuff. This is the minutia of learning about this that makes it so much fun. But I really do. I enjoy how they humanize this mother effer. And then we get into, and this is what I'm waiting for, we get into the creation of Hellboy. And we say Hellboy first appeared in this convention catalog, convention book. And Mike Mignola is like, they were having me at a convention. They said you can draw something for your profile, as they have in convention programs. And, we'll publish it. So he draws this thing and puts in Hellboy. And he tells this story, right? Tells this story. Well, that convention book is like in the thousands now. But there might have been 1 or 2 other surrounding publications that used that image. So there's some contentions. But a lot of people say that's the first appearance of Hellboy, even though Hellboy doesn't look like that. He later redesigns Hellboy for. So Image Comics happens. Image Comics is just this revolution in the American comic book industry. All young guys making millions, drawing comics. But all the veterans and the old heads, they didn't like it. They got pissed. So the veterans formed what was called Legends through Dark Horse Comics. And it was like, we're Legends, we're going to go. So Mike Mignola's entry into Legends was Hellboy. Because he said, why not? But he's highly encouraged by a guy named John Byrne. John Byrne, in my view, is the greatest writer, artist in comic book history. He's still going to this day. The guy is just, he's a legend among us. But John Byrne says, well, just put Hellboy in my book called Next Men. And that's what happens. Might have been Next Men number 6 or 7. That's Hellboy's first appearance. That's how he looks as he looks now. But John Byrne, being a true genius, John Byrne being the guy in the room that can draw anything, that can write anything, that knows comic book continuity, he scripts Hellboy's first 4-issue miniseries, Seed of Destruction. That's John Byrne. John Byrne writes that. This documentary touches on it a little bit, as if Mike Mignola was, he was a little scared. He was a little scaredy boy to write his own script, and he had some help. They don't lean in on any of everything I just told you. It's amazing how a dude in Philadelphia, PA, with a microphone, a laptop, and an audience, thank you guys. It's just me, my AKAPADers. The documentarians can't do it, but I can. It's weird how they omit John Byrne in any of the creation of Hellboy. You want to say it's omitted to the point where if it was told a certain way, it would obfuscate who created Hellboy, wouldn't it? Create some of that good old comic book who created what confusion that plagues everything now, guys. Comic book fandom, comic book historians love to confuse who did what work. I thought that was a major point. But this is a solid comic book documentary. This might be the best comic book documentary I have seen of the industry, of a creator, of a time, of a movement. They do a fantastic job just trying to break down why Hellboy hits, why Hellboy is who he is, why people like him. And you kind of want to say this is somewhat of a piece to promote and to hype you up for the next Hellboy movie, Hellboy the Crooked Man, which bombed. So I watched this documentary, and then I started researching what happened with the Hellboy reboot movie, and then Hellboy the Crooked Man. So there's been 4 movies in all, maybe 4 or 5 animation pieces. So we get, we have some stuff, guys. I think 2 video games, maybe 3. But Hellboy's there. Action figures. I mean, like, you have it all. But I did an episode describing, just asking the question, is Hellboy dead as a franchise? Because the last 2 movies, let's just say, on the bean counter perspective, it really doesn't look good. Has the time of Hellboy drifted? Has it moved on? Are we past it? Because one might say the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a very similar pattern. Yes, I guess Mutant Mayhem was a success, but we want live action Turtles. The Crow. I thought that last movie was solid. I thought it was cool as hell. But then look what happens. There is such a thing as intellectual properties, as the lawyers like to say. It fades. These things fade to make room for new stuff. I think Hellboy's a little bit right there. I mean, we don't need to see much more to make a final decision, but we need a little bit more evidence. More anecdotes. I don't know, AK Powders. I caught this on, I believe it was Amazon Prime. This is such a good documentary. This is the best comic book documentary I've ever seen. Rock and roll, guys. I love you.
Okay, that's a wrap.